Well, guys, man, we got to get off into this, man. We got a very interesting story, man, that we're going to talk about today, man. And Peterland, man, on the afternoon drive, Anthony very made it much clear that the Cleveland Browns are embarrassingly protecting Deshaun Watson. And the quarterback competition is Shedeur Sanders versus himself. And Anthony Peterland made some very interesting remarks about Deshaun Watson on why he thinks the Cleveland Browns are protecting him. You are now tuned into a brand new episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. Well, we got to get off into what Anthony Peterland said about Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns on embarrassingly protecting Deshaun Watson. And we're going to talk about it right after this.
Let me put you on game. These other podcasts out here talking that shit, but ain't repping the same. It's my bro K-Sap, chopping up topics for your outfits, from politics to your cockpits. Tune in, you gotta watch this. Exclusive material for your radio, stereo, pumping high definition. Stop what you doing and listen. We smashing all competition. You better jump on this wave. Somebody pass me a mic, man. I got something to say.
Well, guys, man, you know I got something to say, man. And this is very interesting about the Cleveland Browns' potential 2026 starting quarterback in Deshaun Watson. It's a lot of rigmarole that's going on online. We heard the reports of Mary Kay reporting that Deshaun Watson is ahead in the quarterback competition, which the competition hasn't even started because you only had 3 days of OTAs and voluntary minicamp. And, you know, you don't have the number one players in there. You don't even have the rookie class in there. So how would Deshaun Watson emerge as the leading candidate? Mary Kay believes so from what she's seen. But a lot of people have debunked that. Todd Monken has come out and spoke, and he has debunked that. But however, whatever the situation is, there's an interesting and development story going on about Deshaun Watson. Why haven't we heard from Deshaun Watson? Why come Deshaun Watson hasn't taken the podium? If the Cleveland Brash thinks that Deshaun Watson is the leading candidate for the 2026 quarterback one position for the Cleveland Browns, why come we haven't heard from their number one guy? Is there a reason behind that? Anthony Peterland, he believes so. He believes so that this is an embarrassment and that they're protecting Deshaun Watson. And, you know, he wants answers. So it's very interesting to listen to him on the morning drive, the afternoon drive. He said some things. And it's very interesting what he said. And we're going to take a listen to what he had to say as he voiced his frustrations and an opinion, because we haven't heard from Deshaun Watson ever since he stepped back on the football field. We haven't heard a peep. But this is the guy that the Cleveland Brash, the Cleveland Insiders, wants to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns over Shedeur Sanders. So let's go ahead and take a listen to what he said. And once he finishes what he said, I'll come back and I'll give you my thoughts. Take a listen.
Stir that we caused yesterday.
Sure.
You lit the fuse early in the show.
I was bothered by it,
bringing up the fact that Deshaun Watson did not speak to the media yesterday. Shedeur Sanders did. Dylan Gabriel did. Todd Monken did. And when we got back to it at 6 o'clock, I was surprised at how the more we talked about it, you lit the match and I just blew up about it.
Yeah.
And so the video got a lot of traction on social media.
Yes, it did.
I sure heard about it from certain people.
Yeah.
And, you know, there was this almost defensiveness of Deshaun Watson, be it from somebody that worked with the Browns or be it a random person on social media, be it like a couple members from the Browns beat. And so we double checked on this,
He's
right?
talking about Mary
Because
Kay.
again, that was an opportunity for Deshaun to act like he was in the quarterback race.
Well, and typically in a quarterback room, right?
Yes.
If you're going to have 3 people in the quarterback room, you'd have all 3 quarterbacks speak. If
Yes.
it's quarterback day and the one day everyone's going to have a chance to speak, we kind of want to hear from the guy that might be the front runner.
And I think the PR side of this, I think there are more people that are willing to be open to Deshaun than maybe Deshaun or even the Browns might realize. Like, I think there are people who, because he hasn't seen the field in 2 years, because we've seen other disasters for the last 2 years, I think there are more people that are open to it. I'm not, but other people are.
Yeah.
And so it just felt like a big missed opportunity.
Well, and
so,
again, we always talk about with this, why is it important that athletes speak? It's important that they speak so that they can write their own narrative so we
Yes.
don't write it for them. When you don't speak, we write your narrative for you. That's part of what this is.
And it's kind of an ongoing thing with Deshaun. That Deshaun has really misplayed the human side of this when it comes to reaching out and extending an olive branch or building a relationship with Browns fans, with the Cleveland media. I know he still has contacts in the national media or on social media. So it felt like just this ongoing thing of, okay, all right, like just if I got to play ball and talk about you as a serious quarterback, can you at least act like a serious quarterback?
Yeah.
And so we had a few people kind of go with us on social media about it. So we double checked, and it turns out that Browns players won't be speaking the rest of this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the next time that Browns veterans will be speaking in front of the media will be late May.
Yeah.
So I guess we can should we just pencil it in?
We just wait to hear from
late
the
May
potential
Deshaun Watson, because again,
that's exactly what we're supposed to do.
One of the very common responses was, "Wow, the Browns like to stagger this." Oh, well, then stagger away.
Stagger for a month from now?
Yeah, I think so. It's, 5 weeks from now? That sounds right to me.
As if, by the way, as if this isn't a whole brand new regime that can't rewrite their own rules. What this clearly is the idea that the Browns were protecting Deshaun Watson for whatever reason yesterday. And then they tried to get people on board with the idea that no, you guys are the dum-dums. You guys are the problem in this scenario. Deshaun, everything is staggered. Everything it's on a different day. All 3 quarterbacks were never going to speak. Well, okay then. I went to bed last night being, I guess we get to hear from Deshaun tomorrow, which, by the way, was the objective to begin with, because I just wanted to hear from Deshaun. But now you're telling me it's a month from now?
Oh, no.
What the hell was everyone talking about?
At the earliest.
Yeah, they might just continue to protect him for until we get to training camp. I don't know. Like, at some point, you do have to speak.
We skipped it.
At some point, you do have to talk to Sean. Like, at some point, you have to face the music and get out in front of everybody. And so, like, it's embarrassing is what it is. And so many people are like, oh, the Browns decide who went yesterday. Well, then bad job by the Browns if they thought to themselves, Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, those are the only 2 quarterbacks that we need to hear from. How dense can you be to think that was their response, Nick? There's no way. And there's no way they thought to themselves, that's the only 2 people we want to hear from.
Now, guys, man, that was very interesting, man. So my take on that is, are they protecting Deshaun Watson? Is it because he's coming back off of all the accusations that was brought forth from him? Are they protecting him from that? Because it's not going to be no football questions. It's going to be about all the accusations that was brought forth on him with all these particular ladies at these massage parlors. Or is it going to be football-generated questions on how he feels, how's his health? Does he think he can lead the Cleveland Browns if he gets the chance to be the starting quarterback? Or is it going to turn into foolery where it's going to be nothing but questions that he has to answer with all the accusations and all the charges that was brought forth on him? But just like Anthony Peterlin said, is you got to face the music. You got to get out in front of this. And if your fan base and you're not speaking to that fan base, and the Cleveland Browns are protecting you at this particular time for some unforeseen reason, what is the issue? And then he goes on to say that, the quarterback competition is Shedeur Sanders versus self. They don't want to see Deshaun Watson on the football field. They don't want it. That's a step back. That is setting Cleveland back. You want to put a product out there that is going to put butts in the seats, and Deshaun Watson is not going to do it. It's going to be all about Shedeur Sanders. Mary Kay caused the uproar with the reports. People ran with it. But ever since then, her thing has been debunked. I don't know if y'all heard what Cameron Justice had to say. We're going to do a video on that later. But she's basically saying, Mary Kay, your cover's blown because, she called a spade. But this is in a sense, man, this is all about Deshaun Watson, man. Why are they protecting Deshaun Watson? Why come he hasn't spoke to the media yet? You got 3 quarterbacks in the room, and like they said, you heard from Shedeur Sanders, you heard from Dillon Gabriel, you even heard from Todd Monken. Why come we haven't heard from Deshaun Watson? Is Deshaun Watson going to be running from the media all season long? That's not going to happen. Then that's when you're going to get fined. But it has to start now, and then you're telling me that we're not going to hear from Deshaun Watson until late May or early June? Like, that's doing a disservice for people that want to know. Like, what is up with Deshaun Watson? If Deshaun Watson feels like he is quarterback one, he should come out and speak to the media. He got to face the music sometime. So it's pretty interesting what Anthony Peterlin said. But, guys, I'll let y'all be the judge of that, man. Get down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about. Do y'all think the Cleveland Browns are, embarrassingly or jokingly, protecting Deshaun Watson? Protective custody. I see everybody in the comment section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. Oh, yeah, just in case I forgot. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. Catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.